Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. So Edinson Cavani and Donny van de Beek are set to start against PSG tomorrow night in the Champions League group stage. Now you already know the news on Edinson Cavani. Edinson Cavani's going to be facing a 3-match ban. That's minimum for putting a racist comment on social media. The FA have obviously been investigating this social media post, but Edinson Cavani has obviously apologised for what he's done, and Ollie obviously confirmed that in his press conference earlier on today. What he put on this post was Gracias Negrito. I think that is Spanish. I think it will affect Edinson Cavani, what the Football Association are going to do. Edinson Cavani has enjoyed a fantastic start to his Manchester United career. He scored 2 goals against Southampton recently, came off the bench, and he also got an assist. He also made an impact when he came on against West Brom in the league. He did very well when he played against Istanbul Başakşehir. He scored his first goal for the club in our 3-1 win against Everton. And he almost scored when he came on against Chelsea with his first touch. Edinson Cavani will be the next Zlatan Ibrahimovic. We got him on a free transfer on deadline day. He signed a 2-year contract with Man United worth around 240 grand a week. Solskjaer said though, didn't he, that he has learned the hard way. And I think he needs to be starting now for Manchester United. Now, Donny van de Beek, he's available, obviously, for tomorrow. He recently had a swollen ankle. Donny van de Beek sustained this injury in our 3-2 win against Southampton. Now, he did start against Southampton. That was his first start for the football club in the Premier League. He was playing in that deeper role, and I think he's more effective in that deeper role. He obviously played in that deeper role against Istanbul Başakşehir. We started him in the number 10 against RB Leipzig. But he can play in like 3 different roles. Donny van de Beek did say, didn't he, during the press conference, that he's willing to be patient. Because Ollie did tell him during the international break that he'll have to be patient and wait for his opportunities. Solskjaer says Donny van de Beek is going to be a big part of the club. Calcio Mercato have recently said that Juventus are interested in signing him next summer. They're considering getting him on loan with an option or an obligation to buy. It also mentioned a swap deal. Juventus want to reunite him with Matthias de Ligt. Donny van de Beek only arrived at Man United a couple of months ago. We paid £40 million for him from Ajax. Now, as you all know, David De Gea is available for selection. David De Gea recently had a knee injury. He sustained this knee injury against Southampton. He attempted to keep out James Ward-Prowse's free kick. And obviously David De Gea banged his knee on the goalpost. But Solskjaer said, it wasn't going to be too severe. David De Gea has obviously now had the scan. A lot of United fans are saying now, though, we should put Dean Henderson as our number 1. And this is the right moment to do that. If David De Gea wasn't available for selection, then Dean Henderson would have started tomorrow. Dean Henderson made his Premier League debut against Southampton and did well when he came on. I think at some point, though, Dean Henderson will be our number 1 because Dean Henderson has now got that experience behind him. because he did endure 2 successful loans with Sheffield United. He's had loan spells before with Stockport, Grimsby and Shrewsbury. We got Dean Henderson at the age of 14, so he has been part of the club for several years. During the summer, he signed a 6-year contract with Man United worth around 120 grand a week. Didn't he? But there's obviously been rumours of Dean Henderson going out on loan in January, and it actually said he wants to go out on loan in January, but Solskjaer said prior to the game against Istanbul Başakşehir that Dean Henderson wants to stay at the club and he wants to play for Man United. Dean Henderson made his Champions League debut against Başakşehir in Turkey. He made his international debut for England last month. But yeah, I think we'll go with David De Gea in this game against PSG. Like I said, he will remain our number 1 for now. David De Gea has been long servant at the club. This is now his 10th season at Manchester United, and that game against Southampton was his 500th appearance for the club in all competitions. Now, Alex Telles, he will start this game against PSG. Telles has come back from a minor problem. Telles went off injured in our 3-2 win against Southampton. I'm glad his injury wasn't too severe because Telles has enjoyed a fantastic start to his Manchester United career. Did okay against Southampton, put some good crosses into the box. He did give the ball away a few times, so it looked a bit sloppy. He was good against Istanbul Başakşehir. He was good on his Premier League debut against West Brom. And he was also good on his Champions League debut against PSG. Now, if Telles hadn't been available, then I think we'd have gone with Brandon Williams at left back, because obviously Luke Shaw is still a doubt, even though he has been back in training, I think, today. He's been out with a hamstring injury. Now, Paul Pogba, he's been back in training. He may not start this game against PSG, but he could be involved. Paul Pogba has missed our last 3 games. Main explanation is because he has had a swollen ankle. Now, Solskjaer said the other week that he's backing Paul Pogba to improve. And I said that Solskjaer's got to solve the Paul Pogba issue. Now, Pogba did make quite a few comments during the international break, like he updated you on. He said, this season's been the most difficult period in his career. And he said playing for France is a breath of fresh air. And in general, he was talking about his struggles at Man United this season. Reflects on Pogba's comments during the international break. He did receive a lot of criticism. Didier Deschamps, the France manager, he was talking a lot about Paul Pogba during the international break, saying that he cannot be happy with his situation for Man United, for being left on the bench and for playing out of position. And he said that he understands Paul Pogba better than Solskjaer. Now, we triggered that 1-year extension on his contract earlier on in the season. Obviously, Paul Pogba wasn't happy with this. There has been no talks over getting him a long-term contract at the club. But Pogba's agent, Mini Raiola, said during the summer that Pogba wanted to stay and he would hold talks over a new long-term contract. Now, Pogba's our most expensive signing at the moment because we paid £89 million for him. This is his 5th season at Manchester United since he rejoined. He's made over 100 appearances for us in all competitions. He's won 3 trophies at the club so far, and that was the Europa League, the League Cup and the Community Shield. Pogba made an admission earlier on this season saying that one day his dream is to join Real Madrid. He said last year, Pogba, that he wanted to leave Man United because he's seeking for a new challenge. There's obviously been a lot of narratives of him going back to Juventus. But I think for Juventus to get him back, they'd have to offload a couple of their players as part of the deal. PSG and Barcelona have been in for him before. I think there's some people instructing us to put Paul Pogba in more of an advanced role, to get the best out of him. But yeah, the ankle injury that he's had recently was totally contrast to the one that he had last season. That was also confirmed by Solskjaer. Pogba's only had a good couple of periods at Man United. I thought he did well towards the end of last season, and he did well in that 3-month period when Solskjaer was the interim manager. Now, Anthony Martial, he's available to play in this game. Martial didn't play any part against Southampton because he was out with illness. He got ill overnight. But yet Martial has been back in training. Martial's enjoyed a pretty difficult start to the season, but he did do well against Istanbul Başakşehir. Now, Solskjaer explained why Martial's been struggling this season because of the 3-match suspension he had in the Premier League. In reality, Martial shouldn't have been sent off against Tottenham. But anyway, Solskjaer's backing Martial to rediscover his form. Last season, Martial scored like 23 goals for the club. He was good in his debut season under Louis van Gaal era. Martial's enjoyed a good 5 years or so now at the club. He was playing a lot centrally last season. Solskjaer giving his verdict on Martial's position he was playing against Başakşehir, and he said he was happy that he was back on that left-hand side. Scott McTominay, he's been back in training. He's available. He's been out with a knock. I have got reservations about Scott McTominay, but he's enjoyed some good games at Man United. He's been part of the club for a long time now. Just after the first lockdown, he signed a 5-year contract with Manchester United. We've obviously still got Phil Jones out with injury. Jesse Lingard, he's been back in full training recently. Came out of his self-isolation period. Eric Bailly, is he available now, Eric Bailly? Because he's recently been out with a muscle injury. I'm expecting Marcus Rashford to play in this game against PSG. Marcus Rashford has really improved under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. Rashford recently got an assist against Southampton. He was actually unlucky not to get his name on the score sheet. Rashford also scored against Istanbul Başakşehir. He scored a few goals in the league this season. He scored a hat-trick against RB Leipzig. Became the second Man United player to score a hat-trick as a substitute. Rashford was obviously playing centrally against Southampton. I don't think he's that effective when he's playing central. I think he's more effective out wide. He was playing on the right wing against Istanbul Başakşehir, and he seldom plays there. Marcus Rashford has been part of the club for several years. He turned 23 a few weeks ago. Rashford's been a United player since the age of 7, and he's been in our senior squad since 2016. Mason Greenwood, he's available for selection. Mason Greenwood started against Southampton, and he had 2 good chances, so he should have got his name on the score sheet. I haven't really had much of a perception on Greenwood this season because he's had a lot of off-field issues. He's obviously had injuries. He's obviously been out with illness. But Solskjaer's been defending Mason Greenwood quite a few times this season, and Solskjaer said that he's enjoyed a fantastic year. This is Mason Greenwood's second season in our senior squad. Fred. Now, like I've said to you, he's undroppable at the moment, reflecting on his good performances. He's had a couple of games this season where he has looked off the pace as Fred. But Fred in general's improved under the Solskjaer era. I like the way he's broke up the play, he's showed good attacking intent. He's been good at winning the ball back. We paid £47 million for Fred from Shakhtar Donetsk, didn't we? Matic, I don't think he'll be playing in this game. Well, he won't be starting because obviously Pogba and McTominay and that have been back in training. Matic has initially lost his place in the team. The only reason he's been played recently is because Pogba hasn't been available and that. I've got element of concerns about Matic. Matic though did have some good games towards the end of last season. Matic has enjoyed a good 3 years or so now at the club. We got him for £40 million from Chelsea back in 2017. Now, Axel Tuanzebe, we know he's not going to be involved in this game because he is suspended. Axel Tuanzebe, though, really impressed me in the game against PSG earlier on in the season. I like the way he dealt with Mbappe and Neymar. Harry Maguire, he'll start this game. Harry Maguire is undroppable at the moment. Harry Maguire's really rejuvenated himself because he did have early season troubles. He had that incident in Greece before the start of the season. He also sustained a few knocks and he got sent off in England's 1-0 defeat to Denmark earlier on in the season. Harry Maguire is our current captain and he's the most expensive centre-half in the world at the moment because we got him in a deal worth £80 million. Victor Lindelof, he'll start alongside him. Lindelof's enjoyed some good games this season, but I've still got my reservations about him. He's nowhere near on the same level as Harry Maguire. Lindelof's enjoyed a good 3 years or so at the club. We paid £31 million for him from Benfica back in 2017. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, he'll obviously start at right back against PSG. We have got element of concerns about Aaron Wan-Bissaka. We've obviously got concerns about his lack of attacking intent. His distribution's a concern. So we are actually in search for the right back. But Aaron Wan-Bissaka's enjoyed some good games this season where he has showed good attacking intent and his, distribution at times being good. Aaron Wan-Bissaka has scored 1 goal for the club and that was in our 4-1 win against Newcastle earlier on in the season. This is Aaron Wan-Bissaka's second season at Manchester United. We got him in a deal worth £50 million from Crystal Palace in the summer of 2019. We've got obviously another option at right back and that's Timothy Fosu-Mensah. Now you already know the news on him. It says that Man United have offered him a 3-year contract apparently and Solskjaer wants to keep him at the club. He's only started like 4 games in the 3.5 years he's been at the club. Was it last season we triggered that 1-year extension on his contract? Fosu-Mensah, he played quite a few games, didn't he, towards the end of last season. Odion Ighalo, I don't see him playing any part in this game against PSG. Odion Ighalo doesn't even get in the team now, does he? The main explanation why we brought him in on deadline day in January was to get a cover-up for Marcus Rashford. Because at the time we got Ighalo, Rashford was out with that back injury. Was it just after the first lockdown we extended his loan at the club, Odion Ighalo, so his loan expires in January, Odion Ighalo's. But last season he was our top goal scorer in the FA Cup. Now Juan Mata, I don't think he'll start against PSG. Might not have been involved at all. Juan Mata has started quite a few games this season though for Man United, surprisingly. He did well in both of our Carabao Cup games against Luton and Brighton. He also did very, very well against Newcastle. He did quite well against Chelsea. My element of concern about Juan Mata, he has lost that yard of pace. He's enjoyed a good career at Man United. He's enjoyed a good 6 years or so at the club. We got him in a deal worth £40 million from Chelsea back in 2014. Daniel James, he won't start, I don't think. Daniel James has been out of form and his appearances have been limited this season. But despite that, he said he still loves it at Manchester United. And Bruno Fernandes, like I mentioned, he'll probably start. He is undroppable. Is Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes is Manchester United's best player. Fernandes has been at the football club now for almost a year. We paid €55 million for him from Sporting Lisbon back in January. And Fernandes is under contract with Man United until 2025. Last season, he won Premier League Player of the Month twice. And he won some Matt Busby Player of the Year award. But he's the best signing we've made since the Sir Alex Ferguson era. And Solskjaer did say, didn't he, that Bruno Fernandes has brought a Cristiano Ronaldo-like presence, to the club. But a lot of his goals, Bruno Fernandes' have come from the penalty spot. What formation do you think Ollie's going to go with against PSG? Is he going to go with a 4-1-2-1-2? Is he going to go with a 4-2-3-1? He has gone a lot with that formation since he got appointed in as Man United manager. Is he going to go with a 3-5-2? Ollie's gone a lot with that 3-5-2 against the big teams. And a few times he's gone with that 4-3-3 formation. Now, if we do beat PSG, it will be 5 wins in a row for Man United in all competitions. We've won our last 4 games in a row in all competitions, so we have been in good form. We only need 1 point to qualify for the knockout stage, and we've got 2 games remaining in the group stage, and that's PSG tomorrow and RB Leipzig on the 8th. On the 8th. I think we'll get to knockout stages of the Champions League. By the way, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer rates our Premier League title chances, and he's not disregarding us mounting a title challenge this season. He obviously got asked about transfers in the press conference earlier on today, and he's brushed that aside. He says, he's not focusing on transfers, he's focusing on this game tomorrow because he knows it's going to be a difficult game. Solskjaer also answered a question about Erling Haaland during the press conference. And Solskjaer said he will surpass his own goal scoring record in years to come. And Solskjaer said Haaland will break his goal scoring record. Don't forget, we wanted Erling Haaland back in January. But obviously we never got him. I said it was a shame that we didn't get him because he would have been an Ole Gunnar Solskjaer type signing. Solskjaer knows him well. Solskjaer was the one that gave Haaland his debut at just the age of 16. Now, Solskjaer's already beaten PSG twice as Manchester United manager. We're beating them in the group stage earlier on in the season 2-1. And we knocked them out of the last 16 a few seasons ago, 3-1. We overcame a 2-goal deficit. PSG recently drew with Bordeaux 2-2. PSG, though, did get to the Champions League final last season. Like I said to you, PSG have got quite a few injuries. They've obviously got Mario Icardi injured again. They've got that Sarabia injured now. Juan Bernat's out with injury for them until March. Julian Draxler's out with injury. They've also got Cahera out with injury. Idrissa Gueye, he's just come back from injury for PSG. Ander Herrera and Angel Di Maria, I think they'll be in contention to play for PSG tomorrow. They'll be reuniting with Manchester United because Ander Herrera and Angel Di Maria are two former Man United players. Kylian Mbappe and Neymar, they'll be playing tomorrow. They are the two danger men. So it'll be interesting to see how our defence comes up against Mbappe and Neymar. Mbappe and Neymar are the two most expensive players in the world at the moment. They've obviously got Marco Verratti, who's good. I rate him a lot. They've got Kim Pembe. They've obviously got Rafinha. So PSG have got some good players in their team, and their current manager is Thomas Tuchel. And as you all know, after PSG, we do play West Ham, and that's a game Manchester United should be winning. Now, as you all know, Man United need more signings next year. There has been a lot of players on our agenda. Solskjaer made a prediction ahead of the January transfer window, and he said he doesn't expect a busy January transfer window because he said he's happy with the current squad that we have got. Obviously, we're going to offload players next year as well as bring players in. There's still deadwood at the football club that we do need to get rid of. Don't forget, Solskjaer recently discussed his contract situation at Manchester United, and he said a new contract is not his priority at the moment. You know, his priority is leading the club to long-term success, and Solskjaer said that the team are going places under his management. Maybe talks over a new contract could happen sometime next year, but it's not assured that we will extend his stay at the club. When Solskjaer got the job permanently in March last year, he signed, was it a 3-year deal with Man United, and he's more than halfway through that now. But even though we did enjoy a poor start to the season, you know, Ed Woodward came out a few weeks ago and said that Man United remain absolutely committed to Solskjaer despite the poor start to the season that we had, like I mentioned. The main explanation Solskjaer's still Man United manager is because he's a club legend, and reflecting on that, the board have softened their stance on him. But disregarding him being a club legend, I don't think he'd have been Manchester United manager now. You know, going into that Everton game, he was under serious pressure at the club. There's obviously been talks of Mauricio Pochettino replacing him. He's been the favourite to take over. There's obviously been talks of Julian Nagelsmann coming in. You know, there's been talks of Massimiliano Allegri coming in. But yeah, you know, we'll stick with Solskjaer for now. I just think he needs more backing at the club because I don't think the board have backed Solskjaer enough. But the board haven't backed any of the managers that we've had since Ferguson left. And this is why a lot of Man United fans have been demanding the board out. The board's been one of the biggest problems at the club for several years. I think it'd just be very beneficial if Manchester United could get a director of football in so Solskjaer can get more backing, and it is one of the structural changes that we need at the football club. Being a few names linked with that director's role. This is Solskjaer's second full season as Man United manager. And I said, didn't I, this season was always going to be big for him, and I said he's got to exceed his expectations if he is to remain Man United manager. And I said if we can get the top 4 this season, and if we can win a trophy, that would represent a very good season for Man United, and then that would give us something to build on. We haven't won a trophy under Ole, and we haven't won a trophy now, is it, for almost 4 years. Solskjaer's been Manchester United manager now for almost 2 years. This month is going to be his 2-year anniversary at the club. He's under contract with Man United until 2022. Like I said, I credit Solskjaer for what he did last season because he got us qualification for the Champions League. He also got us third and he guided us to 3 semi-finals. He's made good signings since he got recommended in as Man United manager. He's spent over £200 million and he's enjoyed 4 transfer windows at the club. We've also seen a lot of players depart the club since he got recommended in, and Ollie showed a lot of tactical flexibility in a lot of the big games. But like I've said to you, there's still issues that he's got to solve at the football club, definitely. But yeah, there's a chance we could challenge for the league this season. It depends if this good vein of form continues and that. But we won't. I don't think we'll win the league. We haven't won the Premier League since 2013. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless you all again very, very soon.